Health rocks. Inspired to be substance free.
Why do we do the things we do? Do you have any idea? Think about some of the things that have happened to you in the past week and how you've reacted to them or what you have done after that. And think about the emotions, what you were feeling just prior to those things happening or just after those things happened and the decisions that you've made because of them. Our feelings play such a huge part in what we decide every day and how we make those decisions. So I can give you one example for me in particular. I should never be allowed to go to the grocery store when I'm hungry. That's a bad thing. I buy all sorts of things that are not on my grocery list, things that I would normally not buy just because I'm so hungry. Not a good idea to go grocery shopping when you're hungry. Just like it's probably not a good idea to make decisions if your emotions are really high or really low. Those decisions that you make at that time may not be the best decisions because you are not thinking entirely with your brain. Those feelings that you have can play such a big part in the decisions that you're making. So what are some of these feelings that can affect the decisions that we make? Well, if we're bored, if we're lonely, we're under a lot of stress, we're angry, we're happy, we're excited. There's so many different things that can play into those decisions. Other things that might affect how we make decisions is we want to fit in. We want to feel like we belong. We like that adrenaline rush when we make a decision or we're doing something that puts us in maybe just a little bit of danger or we're taking some risk. Maybe you just want to act more grown up. And so you think that this decision really shows how old you are and how mature you're getting to be. All of these things come into play when we're making decisions. How can these feelings or emotions get us into trouble when we're making decisions? Well, let's break it down a little bit. So, bored. We're feeling bored. It's early afternoon, there's nothing to do, haven't been able to get a hold of any of your friends. Oh, but mom and dad aren't home, and you know just where they keep the beer. You think they'd notice if you took one? So something you shouldn't be thinking about when you're bored. Those feelings of boredom are gonna get you in trouble. Instead, call a friend, take a walk, go outside, play with your dog, read a book, find something that interests you on the internet. Maybe look up how to do something that you've been wanting to do. Pick something else. Don't let that feeling of boredom get you in trouble. What about if you're feeling really excited and you're just so excited and you can't hardly contain yourself and you've just got to go do something and your friends are all with you and you guys are having a great time and somebody brings out their e-cigarette and they're passing it around and everybody's having fun? Not a great idea to partake in that. You're excited, you're having a good time, and you want that feeling to continue. You want to keep having fun with all of your friends, and you certainly don't want to be the one who says no and stop all that good feeling. Slow down and think again. This is again where those emotions can really get you into trouble. You get caught up in the moment and you're just having such a great time, and you may be more inclined to partake in risky behavior, or maybe that would be the time that your defenses are a little bit low and your friends are able to convince you to try it just this one time. These emotions can get you into trouble. You need to listen to that little voice in the back of your head. We all have it. That's our conscience. It talks to us when we're about to make a decision that may not be in our best interest. Listen to that little voice. When you're so excited and you just want to keep the fun going and you don't want to be the person to bring everybody down, listen to that little voice in the back of your head. We've talked before about short-term consequences and long-term consequences. Listening to that little voice can help keep you out of a lot of trouble and help keep you from facing some of those consequences. What are some other feelings that might get you into trouble? What about if you're feeling stressed? Schoolwork has been piling on top of you. Maybe there's some problems at home. You're just feeling like you're sinking and you just can't cope with anything else. And you start to remember about how your friend told you that smoking marijuana really helps to relax her, and she just doesn't think about anything, nothing stresses her anymore, and you're starting to think, maybe I should try that, just as a way to escape, get away from it all. Do you really think that's going to be an answer? What's going to happen the next time that you're feeling stressed? The time after that, the time after that. Pretty soon, you're not going to be turning to marijuana just when you're stressed. You're going to be turning to it anytime that you feel like you need to relax or you're just not happy with things. It's not an answer. These feelings can really turn around and kind of bite you in the back if you are not careful. But the positive thing is knowing how much your feelings can influence your decisions can help you to combat that. By going into decisions with your eyes wide open, and if you can take a moment before you make a decision to really think about it. Think about going back through those decision-making steps. You don't have to do all of them. You don't have to think about all of the options or anything like that. But a very important step is thinking about the consequences, both short-term and long-term consequences. It's an important step. Shouldn't take you more than a few seconds to kind of stop, quickly play through some of those consequences in your head, and then ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it to get in that car with my friends after they've been drinking? Is it worth it to sneak alcohol out of the cabinet when mom and dad aren't home? Is it worth it to try marijuana or maybe something a little bit harder just that one time? Is it worth it? Don't let your feelings get you into trouble. We all have them. We all feel bored or lonely or stressed or angry. We can't let those feelings rule us, and we can't let those feelings get us into trouble. So remember, when you're going to make a decision and you have some choices in front of you, take a step back. Think about what you're feeling at that time. Take a couple seconds to think about the consequences of your choice, of the action that you're about to take, and ask yourself if it's worth it.